Huzzah, dude. Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So if you're new here, hello, my name is Carlee and I am doing a true crime story in all 50 states, and these are just like local crimes, nothing like serial killer-ish, but still interesting nonetheless. They just don't really get reported on, and so I thought it would be really fun to, well, not fun, that's not the correct word, but it would be interesting to report on these cases. So today we are moving on to Iowa. This is a really crazy one, and at the end of it I kind of have mixed feelings, but I'm really curious to see what you guys think about it. In 2020, Piper Lewis, at the time she was 15 years old, she ran away from home due to it being what she thought was an abusive environment. Eventually, she was taken in by a man who was a musician. That really has nothing to do with the case, but we don't have his name, and that is literally the information that we have about him. So, Piper said that the man trafficked her, forcing her to have sex with other men in exchange for money. She said that Zachary Brooks was one of those men who assaulted her, even while she was unconscious. Zachary grew up in Des Moines. He went to public schools in Des Moines before getting his GED. He worked as a bus driver in Acne, I believe is how you say it. He then went and worked at a transit company in Fort Dodge, and 6 weeks before his death, he moved back to Des Moines. He also had 3 children, so he was a father of 3. His brother described him as a loving father and a proud dog owner. On May 31st, May 31st, 2020, Piper said that the man she lived with forced her to go to Zachary's apartment, where she said that she was made to drink vodka and eventually she fell asleep. It's also reported that she said that she had to drink vodka and smoke some weed, that they made her do that. At one point, she woke up and found that Zachary was sexually assaulting her. He later fell asleep, and Piper said that she was overcome with rage after realizing that he had raped her again, and immediately grabbed the knife from his nightstand and began stabbing him. Piper pled guilty to killing Zachary 2 years ago when she was 15 years old. She stabbed him about 30 times in the chest, arms, and groin. She had been charged with first-degree murder, but she wrote a plea agreement stating that she never planned on killing him and that she was just overcome with rage after he had assaulted her. She claims that he had raped her 5 times at least while she was unconscious. So she was really out of it and unable to do anything. She said that she yelled at him and that she begged him to get off of her, but he wouldn't, and then she would pass out again, and it was just a vicious cycle. A Polk County judge gave Piper a deferred statement on September 13th. She was released on probation for 5 years, but was arrested less than 2 months after her sentencing after she cut off her GPS ankle monitor and walked away from the Des Moines Women's Center, where she had been sent as part of her deferred judgment. At roughly 6:19 a.m. on Friday, November 4th, someone had opened a door at Fresh Start, which was the women's center that she was sentenced to, alerting a resident officer who saw her exiting the building. She was found on November 8th, 2020, and was put back in jail. An Iowa probation officer has suggested that the terms of her probation be revoked. Judge David Porter set a hearing for November 25th, but it has since been pushed back to January 18th, but it's not clear as to why exactly it was pushed back. Originally, Piper had been sentenced to 20 years in prison, but because, she had done a plea agreement, the charge was dropped. It's also reported that while Piper was at the women's center, she would miss, curfew or, the time that she was supposed to come back, that there were hours that she was unaccounted for. She was also caught at a medical center because she was in contact with an ex-boyfriend that she had in high school, and she was going to meet up with him. I don't know why, that's just the place that they, I guess, agreed to meet at. There's not a ton of information, but there are just hours that Piper was unaccounted for, so who knows what was going on in that time. I really hope that she gets the help that she needs. I mean, she went through a traumatic event, and while I can't say killing people is good, raping people isn't good either, and I mean, honestly, I don't blame her. She stood up for herself. It was self-defense, and it really does not sound like she planned it, so it's not first degree murder. But I don't know, I just thought this was really interesting. In the end, though, when she broke her probation and then like you find out that she had snuck out of the women's center and like she would take unsupervised trips to the city and she wasn't supposed to do that she missed curfew, it's kind of like, girl, what are you doing? Like, this is supposed to help you. But then again, we also don't know what's going on in her personal life or what it's like living in the women's center. Maybe it's not that great. I mean, it's like you can't judge her for any of that behavior. Plus, she was so young. She was only 15 when this all started. Now she's 18, so she is an adult, but I don't know. I just really feel for her, and I hope that she goes to therapy and, is able to talk about everything that she's been through, because really this is awful, and I feel so bad for her. And like I said, I hope that she's getting the help that she needs. That being said, that is it for our video today. If you guys want to discuss this case down in the comments, that would be fantastic. But remember, there are real people involved in this case. This isn't just a made-up story. So please, please, please make sure that you are being respectful, and just keep that in mind. But other than that, I will be back tomorrow with another True Crime Courier video, so be on the lookout for that. And if you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to my channel. If not, that's fine. Don't feel like you have to. Thank you for hanging out with me tonight. Or I guess this video goes up at 7 a.m. So for hanging out with me this morning. But for those of you that will be back tomorrow, I will see you then. Bye, guys.